He's one of the dopest engineers in the game. The head engineer exclusively for Prodigy of Mobb Deep. 10 Prodigy of Mobb Deep albums. The Hegelian Dialectic. The Book of Revelation.
It's a pleasure, man. That body of work is crazy. I mean,
Joe the engineer. Now we do this shit, nigga.
3:33. That's a sign from the heavens. Just look up in the heavens.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Are we even on today? That is the fucking question. That is the question. What up, man? What up? Gray matter is supposed to be a thing today. I don't know where my co-hosts are at. Like it might not be a thing again. Ah, well. We tried. Anyway, I don't know where our esteemed Vegas, what up, yo? Where our esteemed guests are at. Have to re-invite them. What up, homie? What up? Supposed to be football talk, but I don't know where the fuck. We took a couple weeks off because of a lack of availability. Midget Mike, what up? A lack of availability from our co-host. And, I can host a 6-hour beat battle where it's just me. That was nothing. But doing sports shows by yourself is fucking stupid. Absolutely stupid. I wonder if we're even doing this and how long. D. Barry, what up? How long I'm going to wait for one of the co-hosts to pop in. Because I'm up to something. And I would much rather continue on this creative run that I just caught. But we shall see. We shall see. I hope everybody's doing good in 2022. the 333 music has definitely hit the ground running, to say the least. To say the least. This is probably going to be the dumbest show I've ever done right now, because it's just going to be me waiting for somebody else to pop in so I can actually do this. And if they're not going to pop in, I'm up to something. And I would much rather prefer to continue to be up to something. Well, let's get back to what I was doing then. Larry Bird, what up, what up? Yeah, I'm literally in the middle of being up to something. But there they are. There they are. There they are. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Look at these guys.
Let's go.
Look at these guys.
Yeah.
I got people to talk to. I got people to talk to. This makes sports a little bit different.
Oh.
Yo, I was just saying, I breezed through a 6-hour beat battle solo host like it's nothing.
Yeah,
I've been seeing your stuff pop through. What's up, Kerry?
I was going down.
I
I
will.
was there for the beat battle. Some of it.
Yeah, I will tell you. Doing a sports show where you just talk to a camera is fucking stupid.
Yeah, then you become Jim Rome.
Yeah, and it's terrible. I hate that guy.
And Rome is burnt.
Yeah. So welcome back, fellas. A little holiday break for everybody.
No.
Sure, for sure.
Yo, Roger Harper, man. I know you've seen what we just did in our third place game. Absolutely fucking dominated. Yo,
I see you still. I still see you still making moves.
Yo, Kerry.
Oh.
First round of the playoffs, fantasy football, every single player on my team, including my bench, decided to have collectively the worst week ever. We got beat by almost 60 going into the playoffs.
Yeah. Happens.
Yo, Justin Herbert had fucking 7 points that 2 weeks ago. Like, everybody just failed. And then this week, everybody hits a fucking home run, and we win our third place matchup by fucking 50-something.
Sweet.
I hate that. I've been in a couple third place games where if I played in the chip, it would have been a layup.
Roger, the only reason I even brought it up, because if I would have actually made the championship like I should have, if everybody didn't shit the bed collectively in 1 week, I'd have been able to beat dude yesterday. I was 1 point behind him, and I didn't even really start everybody because I didn't need to. Yo, because, of course, Kerry, of course he had Chase.
Of course he did.
And he still only would have beaten me by 1 because I had DK and Penny. And they both had...
Penny.
Dude,
Penny destroyed.
Yeah, they both had 3 touchdowns. And I was just like, oh, you guys collectively actually beat Chase between the two of you because the rest of his roster didn't do anything.
Yeah, I lost my chip because of Penny.
Yeah, that was a good late season pickup.
Penny and Trey Lance, actually, who had a good game. Bastard. Yeah, I mean, I remember when Alvin Kamara went off for 6 touchdowns last year? I was in the third place game then, and the dude who won the chip had Alvin. And if I was in the chip, I'd have smacked him up. I'd have beat him.
Yeah, Roger, we had a pretty solid show. Third place, first time, not bad.
Yeah, for sure. You do. You represent it well. I wonder who you went against too. I got to look up and see exactly who it was.
What's this league? What's this league? What league is this?
Retired NFL Players League.
Yeah, NFL players.
Oh, come on,
Yeah.
y'all. You gotta give me in, son.
Next year, I'll pull your team together.
Yeah, man. I was.
That's what's up.
Joe was willing and dealing, man, all year long.
All year then, I was making the 3-3-3 proud, man. Nobody, because once Henry, well, I had Henry, and I was in first place.
I did too.
When he got hurt, everything fell apart. I had to start making moves.
Man, tell me about it. I made so many Rona roster moves. Actually, guess who I had on my squad? Fucking AB, who melted down. Of course, I'm gonna start him. But who was balling on the bench? Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
I could have put Kendrick Bourne. I had of course my boy T. Higgins, but of course, who gets busy?
Chase.
Jamar Chase has a career day. And I could have slapped in another dude, but I went up against Armand St. Brown when the Lions were just like, we're just gonna have everyone who normally doesn't get busy today. So Armand St. Brown got busy. Someone cut, because this is an IDP league, and so individual defensive players. Someone cut Darius Leonard.
Why?
And the bastard who I went against picked him up, and I didn't know. I thought he had Rona. I was like, well, if they cut him, he must have Rona. But some people do that. They'll just start cutting players if they know they're not going to make it to the chip, which is foul, because those who are in the chip, like,
you can load up.
Just say, hey, I want you to beat this dude. Hey, here you go. So that's some bullshit right there. I'm not really.
Well, all my late season pickups.
The roster he had before we even started, all of a sudden this dude had a squad, and I was like, whoa, where'd this come from? I still only barely lost, but still, that was some bullshit.
So yeah, my late season pickups were Penny, which was genius. He literally put me on a 5-game winning streak and put me into the playoffs. And then I picked up Daryl Mooney, too. That was a good pickup. Mooney's been getting busy at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he has.
So,
yes, he has.
Yeah, fuck all that shit, because fantasy football season is over. In the pick'em, it looks like I will be defending my crown as the 2-time champ. I don't think anybody's going to, because Colton now fell six games behind with 1 week left. I'm not losing 6 points in a week.
Well,
you made a late season surge.
Well, yeah. When I had time to start paying attention again, I just everything was happening, and I was in rehearsals and doing this, and I was like, oh man, I didn't make any picks. 1 week I had 3 because I just couldn't even. I got there so late, I can only pick 2-3 games.
So what I did to prevent that from happening is literally the second that Monday Night Football was over, I go and check it, and then I just make all my picks immediately, just a week ahead of time. And then if anything changes and I can remember to go back in, then I'll go switch it.
Yep.
But,
smart.
We're literally 17 points behind the world's leader. 17. That's one. That's one a week.
But straight up though, I should have had a perfect run this week.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about it. Why the fuck did you pick Pittsburgh?
I didn't know this was Ben's last home game. I made sure that I made the picks. I just wanted to make sure I had the picks in, and then I just set it and forget it. And then they were like, Ben's last home game. I said, this is last home game.
That's a home run right there.
I didn't go back to switch it up because I did go back and I switched it up. I switched it because I had Washington winning at one point, and I was like, something happened that threw me off, and I was like, oh no, Philly's gonna win this. And then I almost when Carson Wentz came back, I had already had Vegas winning. When he came back, I was like, do I switch that? I'm like, nah.
I did.
I was like, nah. I said Vegas should still do enough. Plus, I don't trust Carson, and the Raiders just lost John Madden, and I was like, Madden gonna see him through.
Speaking of that, RIP to John Madden. Has there been any singular human being that has had a more cultural effect on football than John Madden?
No.
It's impossible because
absolutely not.
He introduced football to people, just generations of kids who don't even play football, but they know Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Just
exactly.
Absolutely iconic, and they're already talking about changing the name of the Pro Bowl. Instead of the All-Pro team, changing it to the All-Madden team, which they should 100% do it.
They should have did that a long time ago.
Yeah. But, yeah, just absolute and total icon. And Betty White. Two of them. Two American icons in 1 week.
Betty White. Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
John Madden, that was, there literally hasn't been somebody who's had more of an impact on non-football people watching football than this guy ever. So That's crazy. So some other things that are happening before we even talk about the game, since we had to skip a couple of weeks because our little holiday break is what we're going to call it. Baker Mayfield is done in Cleveland. That's done. He's already getting surgery, but he's done there. They can't bring him back after these last couple of weeks. And what does this say about Case Keenum? That Baker's out there playing with half a body, and they won't put Case in.
Well, I mean, I think that has more to do with them than Case. Also, Baker. I think that was managing Baker, and I think that was managing Baker at that.
So do you guys?
Because Baker would be over there on the sidelines, seeing how Baker acts up. Baker would be on the sidelines.
Exactly.
So.
Why am I not in this game?
Do you guys think that Stefanski did this on purpose so he can run Baker out of town and go get a real quarterback?
He did it on purpose.
Yeah, no doubt. Because it's like, okay, you want to be on this so badly? Go ahead. Baker said he could go, so I let him go.
They kept it.
Yep.
I mean, not only that,
they kept him out there to see what he was going to do.
You have a.
This is a win-win for Stefanski. If Baker plays well, they get a dub, and okay, I guess we see where we go from here. But if Baker does what he did, he's just like, well, he told me he was ready to go, so I let my players play. And so he played himself out of Cleveland.
Yes, and he also started a rookie right tackle against T.J. Watt and did not give him help the entire game. And you had your first team All-Pro running back chilling on the fucking sidelines. They kept putting Dearness Johnson in instead of Chubb.
And they kept flexing him out to receiver. I'm like, what are you doing?
That was all done intentionally. Baker will not be back. That's why I texted you. I was just like, all right, so what starts making sense? Baker and a couple number ones for Russ?
Yeah.
Because Russell Wilson on that roster, and you are looking at a Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
And you got to look at Seattle. There's no real, everybody knows this guy has a chance to be a starter from day one. Quarterbacks in this draft. So most teams that are looking for quarterbacks are going to be going free agency and veteran routes. They're not going to be trying to draft, Kenny Pickett from Pitt or whatever.
Pitt, yeah.
There's no quarterback that just jumps out where you're just like, oh my God, this guy.
No, I mean, and who said it? It was one of the old quarterbacks who's now working as an analyst. He was like, yeah, quarterback class this year is trash. So he was like, yeah, forget that. He just straight up said it was trash. And I was like,
he's right.
He ain't wrong.
He ain't wrong. It's definitely not a quarterback class. So we have to talk about it. Antonio Brown, this is an unprecedented act. I've never seen somebody walk off a sideline but through the field while your team is on the field trying to convert a third down into the locker room, waving to the fans.
Well, with that much specificity, no. Well, I'm about to say Vontae Davis definitely quit on his team in a game.
Grant Hill retired at halftime.
Who did?
Grant Hill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He said he wanted to guard Mike one more time before he retired, so he stayed on for a couple weeks, and he said Mike had about 42 by halftime, and he said, I never came out for the second half. I literally retired at halftime. That's hilarious. You've seen players quit, but not like that. Not like that. So There's no NFL team that's going to pick him up. He just quit in the middle of a play on your team.
I texted you immediately, and I said, AB's done. His career's over, for sure. Like he can't Josh Gordon his way out of this. Nah, he done.
Has there ever been somebody so talented that ruined themselves like this? Not this level of talent, because he was going.
I will say,
Josh Gordon.
Not those who have reached the level he's reached. I've seen some crazy talented players, but they didn't even have an opportunity because they messed it up.
That's what I'm saying. This is somebody who was a first-team All-Pro multiple times and was on a Hall of Fame, guaranteed Hall of Fame trajectory when he was in his last 2 years in Pittsburgh. This was like, oh my God, this guy's better than everybody. And then it has literally just been self-sabotage from that moment on. So talented, like universally regarded as one of the hardest workers in the league and literally uncoverable. He missed 6 weeks and came back against Stephon Gilmore and had 11 catches for 110 yards like it was nothing. So the talent is undeniable, but so here's the question. Everybody's claiming that he has not been the same since that Vontaze Burfict hit.
Probably not.
So
I'm gonna give you the name: Roy Tarpley, Dallas Mavericks basketball.
Josh Howard.
Josh Howard.
Josh Howard was my guy.
I know Josh Howard was your guy. Roy Tarpley was that dude, though. But he couldn't get it together.
I mean, the only other one I could think of is Lead Bias, because you just saw what he was capable of in college.
That was through no fault of his own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
But at the same time, it is. Len Bias, you got to be like, man, I just got drafted. Fuck you. I just made millions. I don't what? Fuck you. You got to be able to tell them no. Like, you got to.
Yeah, your demons are your demons, though.
That they sure are. So, Mayfield's done in. Looks like Russ is done in Seattle. It's over there. Big Ben just had his last game. He's officially done. So, that opens up one of the best, most coveted positions in football. Somebody gets to go play quarterback for the Steelers.
Phillip Rivers. Don't keep calling him. Nah, that's not gonna happen. I'm just saying, if Phillip Rivers ends up suiting up next year for somebody, I'm gonna be sick. They keep calling this fool.
I think if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, he'll go to Pittsburgh.
Interesting.
He loves Tomlin.
That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
And he's not going to do something like go to a team that he has to kind of build with. He's going to do what Tom did and go to a loaded roster, which is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And a solid. There's like 4 teams when you say organizational balance and like a solid base. It's Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
Plus, he's looking at Najee Harris. Like, yeah, I could use that.
And those receivers are not bad.
I know, but I mean, Najee Harris, like, we see what he is. Like, Claypool could get hurt. I could see him having great rapport with Deontay Johnson. He might even save James Washington's career. But Claypool reminds me more of Lazard and less like Adams.
Yeah, of course. Green Bay's already said they're going to franchise tag Adams, so he's not going to be able to follow Aaron anywhere if Aaron leaves. Pittsburgh seems like a logical destination. Denver also, because
if you got a monster like T.J. Watt, who it seemed like Cleveland was trying to give them Michael Strahan's record, then if you have Devin, the linebacker,
Devin Bush,
yeah, if he can get back, because he wasn't back all the way yet. Next season, we should see what he's looking like, and then you got Minkah Fitzpatrick on the next level. And then let's not even forget Cam Hayward, outside of Donald, Aaron Donald, and who else? I don't know, maybe one other name.
Not this year. Not this year.
Cameron Hayward.
He's been beasted.
Monster. So the only one who's been better than him this year has been Aaron Donald. That's it.
The other quarterback is the elephant in the room, Deshaun Watson. 2 more cases to settle. 2 more claims to settle, and then his legal issues will be done out of court. So yes, 26 out of 28 have been done already. Yeah, you've been busy, Kerry. You missed a lot.
I did. Holy cow.
2 left. So these 2 holdouts, who knows what it's going to take for them, but you can see it's going to happen. Then the NFL is going to have to implement some kind of like suspension, 4, 6 games, maybe, who knows. But
which says to me that there was a failure to communicate. That's what it says to me. And like,
what it says to me that Deshaun Watson is in Houston, and Houston has that one redheaded lawyer, Rusty, whatever his face is, that all celebrities, everybody knows this lawyer. That lawyer probably went in there and said, "We will drag this shit out for 2 decades if you want to," and which they always do, be like, "Ah, fuck it, we'll settle." So Deshaun Watson is now in the fold, which is that guy's ultra talented. So you got to look at all the spots that are going to need quarterbacks. New Orleans.
People are just waiting. Like, quarterback decisions were made based around what was happening with him. Because Teddy B, and we all love Teddy B, would not be in Denver if Deshaun Watson was there.
Well, we saw what Drew Lock just did when Teddy B got his face ripped off 2 weeks ago, and Drew Lock has been terrible ever since. So that is over in Denver. So they need a quarterback.
Drew Lock you could have stopped it at Drew Lock has been terrible.
Yeah, terrible. And Denver's got a pretty solid roster. They just don't have a fucking quarterback.
See, Drew Lock isn't even backup material.
Possibly the Raiders will move on from Derek Carr because that scenario has never been. They've just never really been on the same. And now Chucky's gone though, so you don't know what's going to happen with them.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on who they get in there. The problem at this point would then now be the owner with his terrible haircut.
Mark Davis.
Yeah, Mark Davis. It's the guys he's bringing in. You're a quarterback. If we're saying
two more Raiders just got arrested this week.
You know what I'm saying? That's organizational. That's your owner.
Yeah. So it'll all really depend on if the Packers win the Super Bowl. Because if they win a Super Bowl, I think Aaron Rodgers just stay in Green Bay. Why would you leave? You just want to fuck the Super Bowl. Keep going. Just retire there.
And they seem like fences have been mended.
Well, everybody saw what happened when A-Rod had to sit down and they let fucking
Jordan Love
play, and everybody was just like, "Oh shit! Oh wow!"
Love in the heart of Lambeau.
Oh, he looked terrible. He looked.
Not you doing that shit.
He did not look prepared for the NFL stage at all.
Which then, the people who were always supporting Aaron anyway are just going to be like, "See, we wasted a draft pick. We could have had another receiver, another this, and we could have already been. We could have been winning the Super Bowl instead of Tom last year."
Yeah, it all depends on where Aaron goes. Every domino will fall after that. You'll see where people go. Russ is a huge piece, too. It just looks like that's done in Seattle. It makes sense for him to move. We've always said the Giants.
The Aaron, Russ. Depending on what Deshaun looks like, it would be Deshaun, Aaron, Russ.
A couple other things. Derrick Henry is off the IR. They have to. Yeah, I know. They have to put him in now so that if they make the playoffs, because he's the number 1 seed. So he's not going to play this week, and he's going to get a bye week.
I held on to him. I did the right thing.
He was sitting on my bench the whole time, just in case.
You ain't going nowhere. Damn it.
I was like, I am not going to let somebody else pick this guy up, and he goes for 275 in his return game.
Exactly.
So let's see what else. The Washington football team is set to finally unveil their new nickname on February 2nd. It's happening. That'll be fun. So I told you so. St. Brown coming out of USC. I told you in the draft, I was like, yo, I really like this kid. And,
Amon St. Brown?
Yes. Remember?
Oh, I was just like, yeah, this kid's getting busy all over the place now.
Yeah, I was waiting on that. I was just like, the last guy, he's been getting busy since we haven't had a show. I told you. I liked him. I was just like, I like this when he's.
Well, it seems like they finally figured out how to use him.
Well, that and he's a lot more polished than his brother. Like this kid is like.
Brother.
St. Brown from fucking Aquinius from
Aquinius, yeah.
Yeah, they're brothers. So I told you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I liked him coming out of college. I don't know why. It's just that kid can play, and he's playing on a terrible team and getting busy. So that means he could really play.
Terrible.
Really?
Yeah,
play.
because they were looking at another young receiver who they were getting involved there. One of the other rookies.
Yeah.
And he was getting a little busy for a minute. Obviously, they got TJ, and then it looked like they had a 2 running back monster going for a minute. Then they kind of went away from that.
Well, DeAndre Swift got hurt.
They haven't figured out who they are.
DeAndre Swift got hurt for multiple weeks, and that changed. Did you see?
Then you had your,
I know you saw it. Your boy Joe Judge. You saw his press conference, his rant.
No.
Hilarious.
I've had no reason to put eyes on Giants football.
It was absolutely hilarious. He was so
or
angry.
Any football.
He was so angry. So, well, Gettleman's going to be gone.
He needs to look at the man in the mirror.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: you guys are the worst. You guys are the worst team in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Yeah. No shit.
So bad.
I mean, because we expected Jacksonville to be Jacksonville. We expected the Lions to be the Lions. But you can't make promises. You can't be sitting, have an opportunity to take fucking Micah Parsons, which they brought up. And I was like, I would be fine taking Micah Parsons. Take him. Fine. Good. And we're going to go defense? Fine. Let's go defense. Go Micah Parsons. I was saying this kid's probably going to be the best player in the draft. And when he went to Dallas, I was losing my shit because I was like, they just got probably the defensive player of the year for the next, who knows. Then you, with Chicago, you think you don't need a quarterback? You think your quarterback room is settled with Danny Dum-Dum? So they just made stupid mistake after stupid move back is Tony, who they don't know how to. And I'm not even shitting on Kadarius. They don't know what to do, and they don't have a quarterback who can get it to him. Your backup is the long neck of the law, Glennon. You don't got a backup. You
guys have the worst.
I would have rather had Johnson. Give me Josh Johnson. Shit, even Geno Smith has played better.
You guys have the worst offensive line in football. By far, it's
how
so
many
bad.
years can you continue to say that? I mean, how many years can how many years is that just going to be the foundational excuse for piss poor play? How many years?
All right, so I have a question for both of you. You'll have to watch that Joe Judge thing. It's hilarious. It's so funny. You'll laugh at it. It's actually funny. So, given the last couple weeks, if you were to start a franchise, you taking Joey Boy Band or you taking the Golden Boy?
Well,
I'm going with Joe.
What did I tell you from the very beginning? I said, our guy, Herbert, I said, this kid is talented as fuck, and he checks all the boxes. But my man, Joey Boy Band, he's got that extra thing, that moxie. I was like, that guy's a winner at every level. This guy, he doesn't even understand what a loss is. He's like, what is that? But this is not in my vocabulary. Like, he's a dog.
Well, not only that, it's just
factor.
He looks like Jimmy G when Jimmy G used to be healthy, but he plays like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Because he always makes a proper decision. He finds the right matchup, and dude, when it counts,
he will use you.
Yeah, when it counts, ooh, boy, does he step up big.
And he doesn't even care. You like, because him and Jamar, with the history they got, he was like, that's your best corner? I don't care that other teams have gone away from him. Watch what my guy can do.
Kerry, it was 3rd and 27. 3rd
and it was an easy conversion.
It was a layup.
Easy conversion.
That looks like what
he was like, and he literally said, he was like, shit, where's Jamar at? Yeah. What's the play? Where's Jamar?
He looked over and they ran a zero blitz and left him out there one-on-one. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's when you're like, oh, they come in zero. You pop fly it in the air and let your guy run under it. He'll get there. Just pop fly it. That's it.
So Cincinnati is going to be an absolute problem for a while because they're all young. They're all under 25 years old.
Oh, T. Higgins now becomes the best second receiver in the league.
Is Tyler Boyd the best third?
Easy. I mean, yeah.
He's got weapons for sure.
And
definitely got weapons.
And let's not sleep on Mixon. Mixon is the motherfucking straw that is stirring this drink.
That's why I said
people are not looking. This guy's been getting 28, 25. He's been getting between 23 to 30 touches a game. No, like you don't see running backs getting those types of touches in this day and age. The only other cat you'll see getting touches like that, you'll see King Henry get it, and you're gonna see Najee Harris get it in Pittsburgh. Other than that, you really ain't gonna see cats like that. They got a split situation in Cleveland, so it's not gonna happen there.
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, now that they're really focusing on him, sure. Yeah. But they don't want to McCaffrey him. You know what I mean?
Dude, they're so talented. They're so young, they don't even know how good they actually are. They're just literally what Jamar Chase just did to grown NFL millionaire DBs. Like he was in high school and he was playing against freshmen. You're not supposed to be able to do that in the NFL. 266 yards.
And I knew they were going to beat Kansas City.
Yeah, I did too.
I just was like, there's no way they can cover Jamar. You can't cover Jamar. You can't cover T. You can't stop the run. Joe Mixon's going to get busy. And your slot receiver's better than everybody you got. I mean, unless you're going to put Honey Badger on Boyd the entire game, which would be stupid.
Well, then you also have the tight end who's also young.
Who's been getting busy. Like no one even knew his name.
Their future is so bright because now they can just build on offensive line and defense.
Yep.
Literally.
That's it. Yep.
As you guys know, I'm a huge Justin Herbert fan. He is John Elway all over again, but even faster. Just 6'6" with every week, even when he's playing bad, he makes a throw that I'm just like, he's the only one who throws it that hard. Like Josh Allen doesn't even make a couple of those throws. But boy, Joey Boyband has got the it factor. And that guy is going to win multiple Super Bowls.
I was saying he got that it. Got that it, Joe.
And he knows it. He knows it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
he's the man up here.
Well, he's
got good hair products too.
Well,
Herbert's not the only one.
Yeah, but with Joey Boyband, his moxie, all of that just bleeds out so much. The rest of the team's picking it up.
The best thing I saw was when they asked him about that Baltimore Ravens coach who had talked some shit, and then he absolutely went ape shit on him, and he was like, yeah, so were you thinking about that? And he was like, maybe.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah. I love it. I love it. And that's very Brady-esque right there. Of course he was thinking about it. He's like, who said it?
So you've got Big Ben retiring. So unless they get Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh is who knows? Unless they get a plug-and-play Russ or Aaron Rodgers, they're taking a step back. Even though they've taken a huge step backwards the last 3 years because Big Ben can't throw more than 7 yards down the field.
Which amazingly still have never gone under 500.
And they won't this year either. I told you they're going to go 8-1.
I mean, how you not see that's Tomlin. Come on now. People understand when they go there, they're going for the program.
So
you don't get the program, like they think that's only in New England. If you don't get with the program in Pittsburgh, son, it's going to sound different. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to look at
the message is the same.
Santonio Holmes, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. I don't care what you do on the field. If you don't fit, you're out.
Peace.
They do it all the time.
Exactly.
Peace.
So, Big
and
Ben.
You gotta have a quarterback with tradition. They always got a quarterback that's there forever. You know what I'm saying? It sticks and does this thing. So.
I mean, Big Ben was perfect for Pittsburgh. So they had a stat last night. This is incredible. Big Ben has only started 2 games in his entire career in which there wasn't playoff implications. Wow. 18 seasons, he's only played 2 games where Pittsburgh wasn't in the playoff mix. 2 games where they were just like, we're out of it. What?
That's crazy.
That's stability. That's organizational stability. That's what I'm saying. That quarterback job spot opens up. Who doesn't want to go there?
I will say this. Now, when in that draft, when it was looking like we were not going to get Eli, I was like, man, I really like that Ben dude. But I don't hate Phil Rivers because I'd watched NC State games. I was like, if we end up with Phil Rivers, I don't hate it. Because he's got an attitude. I'm like, I was like, man, that Ben dude, man, he's big. I was like, and he runs, and he was running. Remember, he used to run. I was like, he runs. I was like, wow, we haven't had that in New York ever. Hostetler, but not as big. I was like, that would look good. It worked out. We got Eli. Not hating on that.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowls for you guys. 2 for Pittsburgh. It all worked out.
Watching Ben over the years, especially during our lean years, I was like, see, this guy he just makes play. He's just so. But Eli never missed a game because of injury, so he was tough. It just looked different. Well,
growing up outside of Pittsburgh and a family full of Steelers fans, whenever they grab Big Ben, this is 2 players.
Oh, it was perfect for them.
2 players that I can remember that I called him immediately on the draft and said, this is absolutely perfect for you guys. Big Ben was one, and Troy Polamalu out of USC. As soon as I called him immediately and said, you guys just hit a home run. Just wait till this guy gets to the league.
Yep.
So, so you got Big Ben retiring. There is going to be some sort of alteration and change in Pittsburgh. Cleveland has taken a huge step backwards because they don't know what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Baltimore has also regressed.
But I will say this. Baltimore is in a better position to bounce right back.
Yes, they are. But the whole point is this.
Cleveland now has seen that it is possible to win in Cleveland. So they really have to get the quarter. They realize when they get even close to getting the quarterback right, look at what could happen.
Well, the whole point is
they built up the roster all the other ways. They just really need a quarterback.
The whole point is, so if you look at Cincinnati, you now know, organizationally, team-wise, fan base-wise, we got a guy, we have a shot. We got one. We got like a real win. We got like a winner. This is like he's going to end up like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, like winner. You can see it. He just wins. It's incredible.
I was saying, he's just a winner.
That's why I said you look at Herbert and he's just like he has all the tools to win.
Talented as fuck.
But Joe Burrow is going to win. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yes.
So all right, I'm gonna send you another one, and then we'll start breaking down what just happened this week. Welcome back, everybody. Oh shit. All right, so Time to break down some games. It's been a while. It has been a while. It'd be absolutely hysterical if Nice popped up out of nowhere. I don't expect that to happen. Billy Lyons, my motherfucking homie. Lyons, I got the creative juice, man. Who's it going to be? Carrie's usually first. You Billy Lyons, you know when you're like, you got a beat stuck in your head you're working on? Like when you're not working on it, it's still just going. Woo! Roger Harper said, I will be first. What up, Hobie? How was the holidays?
Baby, what up? Everything was good, man. Everything is good. How about you, man?
You know, I've been awful busy, man. I've been up to something.
You been making them beats, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Back in.
You got a new. You got another producer you working with? I see.
Yeah. So I had the beat battle at the end of the year. And we gave away an NPC. Beat battle was crazy. It was so much fun. And the guy who won has won a couple monthly beat battles already. And talking to Billy Lyons about it, it was just like, let's see if he wants to work on some stuff. So, and now there's 3. So, got a little German connection in there. He makes the type of music he makes is different than both me and Billy Lyons do. So it'll like add some like Euro influence and whatnot.
Oh, the dude who won, he from Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, he was coming through with stuff. He was coming through with stuff. The other dude was coming with some shit too, but he fucked it up in overtime.
Yeah, we talked about that, yo. I put everybody on the spot because I was just like,
up in OT. And then he gave the other dude an opportunity, and I was like, and the other dude came with it in OT. I was like, I got to change my mind now. But I was stumping for OT anyway. I was like, too close. OT. It has to go OT.
Yeah, dog.
And that's what happens. If you don't, you got to keep coming with it. You're not keeping, like, don't think you got it in the bag. The other dude thought he had it in the bag and then come with it the extra period. Other dude came with it, and I was like, done, wrap.
So what other Hobie... What the other Hobie doesn't realize is, Carrie, you got it. You explained everything exactly like I did to Billy Lyons. All right, and Billy Lyons does MMA. So we all understand a competition. Just getting to overtime, what happened in those first 4 quarters, first 3 rounds, doesn't mean anything. The game is won and lost in overtime, not a conglomerate of what you did up to that point.
It's not cumulative, homie.
And he lost it in overtime. I was like, he fumbled it.
Because he was coming through with some heat. I was like, it's nasty. But I was like, this what you come with in overtime?
Yeah.
Man, what the other dude got? And then he came with a bang, and I was like, done.
Game, set, match, knockout punch.
Yeah.
Our boy Billy Lyons been hanging in there. He doing good, huh?
Yeah. We've been busy. So already got the next beat battle is set up for March. So it's going to be.
I'm glad I made that one.
Yeah, no, that was different because nobody's really done it like that to where it's like a tournament with multiple beats per round. So it's not just one beat, and it's like then there was overtime. I didn't plan for overtime. I should have planned for that.
Yeah.
But it was fun to put them on the spot because I was just like, now they have to mentally, under pressure, make a decision in 2 minutes. And you saw some of them made the wrong decision. They called the wrong play.
All the wrong play.
Woo, it was fun though. So All right, so teams are in the playoffs. Some teams have absolutely no shot of making the playoffs. To be expected.
Yeah.
Atlanta at Buffalo. Buffalo on a playoff run. Whatever, they're in the playoffs, and Matt Ryan doesn't beat quarterbacks that are better than him. Whatever.
You sure don't. That proves out every single time.
Every single time, man. There are a couple guarantees in NFL football, and that is one of them. With New York, the Giants it's season's over. It's over.
So the thing is, when the Giants franchise turned around, right? They drafted this linebacker out of the University of North Carolina in the early 80s, 81. Let's just call him LT, the real LT, the only LT. Immediately changed, not just the face of the Giants, the face of the NFL. When that team in Dallas drafted Micah Parsons and the Giants had an opportunity to, I was like, I don't understand how you don't see. But it was Ernie Accorsi who's long been gone. I mean, that's why you need an excellent GM.
Yep.
Fuck these owners. You need a GM, because the real GMs don't have like this. You have like an idea of what you want to do, but hog mollies and I got to do this no matter what. You got to see what the talent is telling you. You got to. If you're saying football is, you got to take the play they're giving you. You got to do that also as a GM. The play was Micah Parsons.
Kerry, who's Scott Pioli working for right now?
Who is he working for?
I don't know. If he's a free agent, that's who the Giants should be calling.
Well, I'd be like, or Louis Riddick.
Louis Riddick.
I know who Louis Riddick is working for.
No, Louis Riddick was. Remember, I said that a couple weeks ago. Like that's an obvious choice. And then go get Russell Wilson. It all makes sense. But Scott Pioli is proven he's like the Jerry West of the NFL. Every place he goes, he turns into a winner.
Yeah.
The guy knows what he's doing. So.
Yeah.
Chicago also sucks. Whatever, they're terrible. Kansas City and Cincinnati. That game was awesome. That game was so good.
But Chicago was closer to doing some shit than we are.
Of course. Kansas City and Cincinnati, though, that game was like the game of the year.
Much. That was the game. And I knew it was going to be fireworks. I was like, damn. I also picked up Derek Gore just in case. I was like, this is going to be like a blow situation. Like he could get in there, sneak in there, get like. But see, he needs the explosive plays. I knew he wasn't going to get goal line action. So I was like, when can he get in there? But I was like, if Cincinnati, it's going to be back and forth. So if Williams is still going to be in there, my man Gore got in, but he needed to score a touchdown to be relevant. And he didn't.
Yeah, Joey Boyband with 446 yards a week after throwing for over 500. He has 1,000 yards in the last 2 weeks. This guy is on fire at the right time.
And it's not like it's a secret who he's going to. It's just the week before he was like, oh, you want to do that to Jamar? Y'all forgot I got T. Higgins, right? Because T got busy for me the week before.
Miami at Tennessee. Tennessee has proven that they are literally a solid football team, front to back, so well coached. And the underrated signing of the year, whenever the fucking Texans cut that Zach Cunningham, he went right into Tennessee and is basically their captain on their defense and is balling. And their defense has
Zach Cunningham could play.
And their defense has changed the day he got there. It is now.
They needed that. Zach Cunningham could go. Also, a former Texan who's also paying off dividends for them, Deontay Foreman, who I wasn't sure how they were going to use him, especially they had AP. When they cut AP, I said, oh, shit, Foreman is about to get his shot. And you see what he's been doing these last few weeks. Been getting busy. Yeah. Like the other kid who they wanted to put in, McMichael or whatever his name is, McNichols. See ya.
Get him out of here. No, he's been getting busy, but that Zach Cunningham signing has propelled them. They have the number one seed in the AFC right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you get King Henry back, who has only a few games on his body this season, and we all know how he works out, so we know what his rehab was like.
And he's back already.
Yeah, they might make a run to the fucking Super Bowl, dude. If Julio Jones was anything at all, they would go to the Super Bowl.
Julio Jones needs to find Michael Jackson's old hyperbaric chamber and just chill in there for about a week. You know what I'm saying? Dig up the bones of Bubbles, have him in the hyperbaric chamber with you, get them bones good and strong, and come back and ball out. Because he's got some plays left in him, and I know he remembers that Super Bowl. Got some plays left in him. He has A.J. Brown on the other side, getting King Henry back, and Deontay Foreman has proven to be a hell of a backup. And now you got Zach Cunningham on the other side, along with your all-pro safety Byard. Motherfucker, y'all better do something. And a hell of a head coach. Man, Julio needs to see this opportunity for what it is and do whatever he needs to do to make sure he's on that field so they can make this run.
Exactly.
He's been quiet all year.
All year. He done absolutely nothing. Absolutely. They got nothing on that, no return on that investment whatsoever.
I know we were hyped off of what was on paper.
Well,
just like I said about the Browns, I was like, yeah, on the Browns, Super Bowl is won. But I was like, obviously that's not where we play football, and injuries and everything, and obviously.
Yeah, I know. Vegas still in the playoff picture. Vegas now is playing the Chargers. It's a de facto playoff game. It's a play-in game. Mm-hmm. Winner gets in. Derek Carr wins games. He plays well in the fourth quarter. He doesn't play well in the first two quarters for some reason. Always plays well in the clutch. That's why we like him.
Play calling in the first two quarters. I attribute a lot to play calling. When we get to the other half, he balls.
That's good. They kind of just let him play.
Yeah, exactly. And no one has figured that out yet.
So Indianapolis.
In these games, we see Derek Carr wins these games, and the Chargers, and you got to put Herbert in there, lose them. They've lost less of them this year, but they lose them.
Well, I never miss a Herbert snap, and he has kind of hit the wall the last 4 weeks. He's not performing well. He's performing okay. They've gotten some victories, but it's not all game long wow, he is dominating.
And also, what goes hand in hand with that? Who has been either out
Eckler.
Limited?
Eckler. But Justin Jackson's been getting busy for them.
Finally, yeah. So, I also picked him up, then use him.
So Tennessee with the Zach Cunningham pick, look for AFC title game because they are so well coached, so well coached. Vegas and Indianapolis found a way to get out of a 1-5 start and into playoff contention, and then lost it with that game right there. So, I mean, they can get in if they win and 75 things happen.
They need scenarios, right?
But it's not looking good because they're in the NFC and AFC. There are both scenarios where if these teams win, they're just in. There are no dominoes to fall.
But I will say this: how ill is this? They start out like that. All of a sudden, they get themselves in a position where they just go on this run. Then you have Derrick Henry go down and Jonathan Taylor rise to the top of the NFL League's rush list. You have now set up a scenario where the Titans and the Colts, this is going to be some true rivalry shit, right?
Physical football.
You got Michael Pittman Jr., big receiver. A.J. Brown, big receiver. You got beast running back. You got beast running back. You got two big quarterbacks who, questions throughout their career. Talented, but just haven't put it all together quite yet.
Good defenses, because Indianapolis
good defenses. So now you're looking at the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. You're seeing the story play out.
Going at it.
These two could be. And then also we're looking at the coaches. Frank Wright, proven to be good to go. Obviously, we understand, what the Titans head coach could do. So, yeah,
it's going to be
AFC
good.
South.
So Carson Wentz has to get off of. Okay, we always talk about Carson Wentz. Once he likes the guy, he likes the guy. What I saw happen with Carson Wentz, especially because of fantasy football, this motherfucker, he had like 4 game stretches where he just threw it to one guy and then it was over for them. He moves on to the next one, and it was Pittman Jr.
Valley Mo Cox.
It was Cox, and then Pittman Jr. had a stretch in the middle. And then Pascal and T.Y. had a couple touchdowns. In the last couple games, it's been Ashton Doolin.
Whoever the fuck that is.
Exactly.
Yes.
This guy scored in every single game in the last 4 games because that's his guy now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just really weird. He's got to get off of that.
He's as fickle as nice. He's always finding new guys.
Always. That's my guy. Ashton Doolin, that's my guy to watch for next season, though. Because he's going to replace T.Y. Hilton. I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to replace. And T.Y., maybe, let's say sayonara to T.Y., he got a touchdown. So that could be his farewell touchdown in Indianapolis, at least.
You know where T.Y. is going to go next season?
Tampa.
Exactly. AB's gone. Go to Tampa.
Oh, and he's from Florida anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You've got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans still. Yeah.
Who's daddy coach T.Y.? Was it AB's? It was like one of them. Like he has a connection, a crazy connection, because his father or somebody's father, I don't know. All those Florida boys connected at some point.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. Or he almost signed with Baltimore last year, so he could rekindle that relationship. But it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Go to
Unless
Tampa.
you want to put Lamar with another Florida dude. They got enough midgets over there at a receiver.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense at all. So New England, come on, 50 burger on another NFL team. Like,
I knew they were going to score the most this week, too.
Yeah, easy.
I see Belichick is on his NCAA shit right now. He's on this, I got to impress the polls. Y'all must have forgotten about me, so watch this. I'm running it up on everybody.
Yeah, we don't even need to talk about this game. It went exactly as you would expect. Multiple picks of the kid who looks terrible. 200 and some yards rushing. Both running backs got busy. Mac Jones, 3 touchdowns on the first 3 drives.
Multiple touchdowns. Ramondre, I could have picked Ramondre up, but I was like, what's his face is back, Damien's back, but I was like, oh, they're just probably gonna run it down their throats. I should pick up Ramondre.
Yeah, I did. Tampa.
Yeah, Lawrence. They don't. They had Aluba, somebody's Lambe, Agumba Wale. He played. He actually, as a backup running back, he's stuck in the league. He ain't bad, but
Jim Caldwell needs to go to Jacksonville.
Yes, he does. That would be a great hire for them.
Yep.
He would actually change the culture down there.
If he can win in Detroit, that guy can win anywhere.
Yes.
Because nobody wins in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, Detroit is still cursed because they got rid of Jim Caldwell. Trust me. They know it.
Yeah, so blowout status. Tampa at the Jets. The whole AB thing, you got to kind of give Tom credit. It's Tom Brady. But down 14 with AB running off of the field, you don't have basically any of your weapons whatsoever, and you still pull it out.
Now, I know that Robert Saleh has probably caught some shit for going for it on 4th down. First of all, that was the right call. The play they selected was terrible.
Stupid.
But going for it was the right thing to do. Yeah, I don't know who made that play call. Well, he said it was an option, and then Zach Wilson, listen, you don't give your rookie quarterback a fucking option. You tell him, check this out, right? We trying to win this bitch. Who's getting busy? Get it to them. They were running all over them.
Yeah.
Give it to Ty. At that point, I have confidence to give it to Ty Johnson, but not up the middle. They had success on the perimeter, which, listen, Levante David is out. Devin White is limited. He's still Devin White, but he's been limited. Go test the outside. That's where y'all were getting busy anyway. Barrios, get a play with Barrios in there.
Barrios was getting busy.
Barrios was killing these fools. I would have put Barrios at quarter. You want to have an option? Put Barrios as the Wildcat, and then Ty Johnson, whatever, and then run a wishbone. Fuck them all up. Something. You got to do something different than go up the gut, the very strength of what's left.
Yeah, I would have tried to put pressure on Tampa's corners because they're like
Jamal Dean was out there.
They're fourth stringers, basically. I would have put pressure on the corners.
Look for 35.
Kerry, even if you're running the ball, I would still run it to the perimeter because those guys are fourth string for a fucking reason.
Also, look what Cincinnati did on KC when they kept going for it, right? They put the ball in whose hands? Joey Boyvan. And what did he do? He looked to see what a mismatch was, and he got pass interference. It reset the downs and won them the game. That's it. You don't have to make the catch. You have to make the attempt.
That's why I said that's the one thing about Burrow is he makes the right decisions. That's the matchup. I'm going to that one. Oh, it's over here. I'm going there. Like, you see it. It's already happening. This guy is going to be incredible for a long time. I love it because Cincinnati deserves it. They've been absolutely god-awful since Boomer Esiason and Icky Woods.
Yeah. And Boomer told Joey Boyvan that he was going to be the one to change things. And he did. He changed the culture immediately.
Instantly. That's what I said.
Even hurt. He changed it immediately.
He has so much of whatever that is that the other players get some of it. I don't even need all of this. Here, you take it. You take it. Yeah. And he's got his boy there, and everyone sees them in the locker room just...
Oh. Like, if I'm like that, why do you think there's no dissension? Now, if I'm T. Higgins, who was the clear number one, even with A.J. Green there, T. Higgins was the clear number one, right? And then this rookie behind me comes in and is number one, and I ain't tripping, you know the situation is different. You know it's different. Different.
What a home run pick by them, which most sports analysts said was stupid because they should have got the lineman from Oregon.
Yeah, nice.
But all of us said, no, this is smart. Go get his boy. That's his boy. They're like, they didn't just play together. They dominated, and that's his boy.
That was an instance in where that made sense and worked out. What they did in Jacksonville was stupid.
Yeah.
Getting Travis Etienne, I like him. No shade on him. That was dumb for Jacksonville. Like, you need so much more. Like, your running back situation was fine. That was the least of your worries, actually.
Oh, and what else? You know, what else did we predict? What else did we predict that was, and we knew this was going to happen, and we said why. We knew Jamar Chase was going to dominate in the NFL because he was better than Justin Jefferson in college, and look what Justin Jefferson did from day one in the league.
Justin Jefferson is eating the league.
Destroying it. But Jamar Chase is more explosive, and we knew it because he did it in college.
And that's the difference. When he caught that short pass and he ran through and then accelerated past, Jefferson ain't doing that.
No, that's it. Justin Jefferson is more of a volume catcher. He's going to get like 10 or 11. He's going to have like 130 and probably 2 touchdowns.
Oh, his route game is nice.
But
Jamar's route game doesn't have to be nice yet.
No,
it's just good enough because he's a beast athlete.
He looks like Odell, but he plays like Randy Moss. I'm going to out-athlete you. I'm just going to out-athlete you right now. You're not better than me.
Right.
Dude, he caught it in the middle of 6 NFL defenders and just outran them in a straight line.
And then walked away. He said, I'm going to rob you, and I'm going to walk away. And there's nothing you could do about it. He told them. And then he did it.
Rookie. Ooh. Incredible. And he's got his boy throwing it to him. That's not even fair. That's not even fair. It takes so much time to develop the chemistry that those two have in the NFL from day one. Oh, nah, that's my homie. Go get it.
Yep.
What a home run of a pick. Whoever their GM is, he gets GM of the year for that one because it's working out. They just won their fucking division for the first time in like 20-some years.
Especially them. Like, them.
Yeah. They don't have a scouting department.
That's insane.
No indoor practice facility, no scouting department. That's all going to change now.
Of course.
He's doing for Cincinnati what Peyton Manning did for Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
He is going to literally build that city up. It's awesome. All right, so Philly at Washington. Philly's ground game is number 1 in the NFL over the past 8 weeks. They're literally averaging almost 200 yards a game, and nobody's talking about it because of Jonathan Taylor. It's all by committee, and then they have Hurts, who's giving them 60 to 80 a game also. But their defense is playing really good, and they run the ball. So
they run. Once they found out running, why else do we have Hurts here? Like, run. He's figuring out the pass. Like, he's been actually getting a lot better at it, actually. And they got his boy, Devontae Smith, who's been getting busy he's had a good rookie season. It's just that Jamar Chase has had an all pro. He's had an all NFL, all world season. Had an all pro season. But if you look at the numbers Smith has put up, Smith has had a damn good season.
He's had a good year. They have a rapport, obviously, and Goddard is starting to be utilized. So tight end, receiver, like 5 running backs who all are serviceable. You never know who's going to – it's like Buffalo. You never know who's going to run for them.
They got this guy, Kenneth Gainwell, who had a ill game one year.
Gainwell, Bart Scott, Jordan Howard. There's another one.
Boston Scott.
Boston Scott. I'll be high, man. So it sets up a good one, though. It sets up a good one, though. Philly at Dallas.
Yeah.
This week coming up.
Basically, you're just saying the stadium could blow up, and
yeah. Let's see. The Rams. Matthew Stafford is playing like trash. Matthew
Stafford is Lions DNA is starting to show.
He's throwing a lot of fucking. Is it 6 pick sixes? It's either 4 or 6 pick sixes this year.
He has bad team tendencies. When you have bad team tendencies, you know what you do? You self-sabotage. So instead of just taking what's there and available, which his best receiver at doing that, Robert Woods, out for the season, that's a huge loss for him. He was the one keeping Matty Stafford making good plays. Now he's chasing the big plays. Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham. As soon as Odell Beckham got there, what did he do? He started throwing more picks. He was trying to get him involved. He's forcing it.
Well, I was going to also say this. They have actually implemented Becky into the offense. He scored in the last 4 games.
Yeah, now when he first got there. Yeah. Now they figured out how best to use him, and he scored every week. But it took those growing pains. But losing Robert Woods gives you that other element. He gives you that Welker-esque, that Julian Edelman-esque element that once you lose as a quarterback, now you're searching, you're holding on to the rock a lot longer, you're taking more sacks, you're taking more risks, more turnovers happen. And that's what we've been seeing out of Stafford.
That doesn't.
But something amazing, Sony Michel.
Yeah.
Holy shit, nobody saw that coming.
So this team doesn't look like a Super Bowl contending team to me at all right now.
Yeah.
They're so top heavy, like their superstars are such mega stars, and then there's like they're not very deep as a team.
No, but Cam Akers is back, and that can make things very interesting.
They've also started using this other the dollar store version of Cooper Kupp. They got another white receiver that has been.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, kind of been like kind of filling in the Robert Woods spot. He's like, okay, just get open, go stand in a spot and get open, and if nobody's open, he's going to dump it to you. He's that guy now.
Right, like the former practice squad guy, yeah.
Yeah, dollar store Cooper Kupp. Yeah. His name is Connor Kupp with a C.
Oh boy. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Denver at Los Angeles. Drew Lock started. What do you expect? He sucks. I expected nothing else from them. Good for the Chargers to be able to pull it out. Whatever. Austin Eckler's back. He didn't have a big game, but he didn't need to. They scored the first 3 times they touched the ball like it was nothing. Bang, bang, bang.
Justin Jackson got busy for them, which he needed it and they needed it.
Well, they also got A.J. Guyton back into the fold. And
yeah.
So that pushes Palmer down to the 4th, which he was pretty good at. He showed up in moments. So Mike Williams is back. And, so they're kind of healthy going into this. But, as much as I like Justin Herbert, the Chargers have a way of losing games like this.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, they do. So congratulations, Raiders. I don't know what to tell you. Houston at San Francisco. Trey Lance, look at him, 249 yards.
Son of a bitch.
Couple touchdowns.
Didn't even have that game. That one hurt. Yeah, but good for him.
Yeah, good for him because Jimmy G, that injury that he has in his thumb, when that ligament detaches, it does break off a piece of the bone. It doesn't pop off on its own. That's such a good anchor that it just chips off the bone. I've had that happen. I couldn't play golf for a year. So I would not look for Jimmy G to be back at full strength anytime soon because it's on his throwing hand. He can't hold the ball right now.
Yeah.
So as long as Trey Lance keeps playing like this, you're not going to see Jimmy G. And then you probably won't see Jimmy G in a Niners uniform next year.
Yeah.
The guy can't stay healthy. He can't stay on the field, and I'm telling you, that one right there, it's...
And as a game manager, that's your only job.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a superstar, you can afford to get hurt. As a game manager, you can't.
Jimmy G would be good in Denver if he's healthy. If he's healthy, he'd be a good quarterback in Denver.
Yeah.
San Francisco, do they have a shot to be? I don't know. We'll look up the playoff scenario. Arizona at Dallas. Good for Arizona. There was some questionable refereeing there at the end of that game, but there's been questionable refereeing the entire fucking season in every game. So whatever. Stop complaining. Stop complaining, Dallas.
I know. Seriously.
This was just 2 playoff teams going at it, and you saw what happened. It was a 3-point game. They both had a chance to win the game, so whatever. They're going to probably see each other next week or in the first round of the playoffs. They're lined up with each other right now, and it doesn't look like either of them have, if things play out the way they're supposed to, that either of them are going to move in either direction. So, rematch.
And they didn't have D-Hop, so...
Yeah. So, we shall see. I hate Dallas. Whatever. We all hate Dallas. I don't know. Roger Harper might. He's got a part of him. He's like, I was there. I know you got friends.
No.
He said,
Dallas I don't fuck with Dallas.
He said, fuck Jerry Jones.
They gave him all he needed, the money checks. That's it. They ain't paying him no more, so fuck him.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Carolina at New Orleans. New Orleans might still have a shot to get into the playoffs. I'm not real sure. Carolina sucks. All their quarterbacks are terrible. All of them. Every one of the rosters sucks.
Very bad.
Yes.
Chuba Hubbard is rated the worst rookie running back in the league. Oof, that's bad.
Yeah, that sucks because he's had a couple good games.
He did. He had a couple good games. So I'm like, damn, that's just. I think whoever their offense coordinator is terrible.
He's terrible.
He just doesn't know what he has.
They started out with Sam Darnold. You try to build the offense around this idiot. And then he flails, and then they put in what's the backup kid? The little kid?
PJ Clark? I don't know. PJ something.
Yeah, that guy. He's whatever. You're a backup quarterback. And you won't be a career backup. You're not going to be in the NFL that much longer. PJ Walker, I think, is that his name?
PJ Walker, that's it. Yeah, he got busy in the other league. The XFL, I guess.
And then you bring in Cam, so then you have to change your offense to go around Cam. And then Chris McCaffrey you're going to get him for like 6 games, but you're not going to get him for the rest of the season.
So the thing is, they built the offense around Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And that guy can't stay healthy. They need to change the entire offense and stop trying to make it Christian McCaffrey's offense. You can't rely on him. So they haven't properly even built around Sam Darnold. They didn't really give him a chance to see what he likes because they kept the same shit for McCaffrey. They need to change the offense away from McCaffrey, and then we'll start to see some different shit.
So, Sam Darnold, he sucks. Yeah, absolutely. Imagine if McCaffrey ended up in Tampa with Tom Brady.
Well, I mean, at least he would have other options. Like, he wouldn't have to be the offense.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but that would be the perfect Tom Brady running back. Here, go. You wouldn't even have to just go play third down. Extend your career.
Well, they got Le'Veon Bell.
Well, whatever.
And Giovanni Bernard. How many of these guys you need?
He's not. Christian McCaffrey's not going to stay healthy.
They're about to say one who stays healthy. Right. Exactly.
It ain't him.
Right.
Seattle threw up 51 this week. Russell Wilson got reminded that he has DK Metcalf on his team and gave him 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, look at that guy. He's bigger, faster, and stronger than everyone else on the field. I should probably throw it to him. And they've also found something in Rashard Penny, which that was another guy
they've been looking to do for the past 4 seasons.
Yes, but that was a guy that we liked coming out of San Diego State.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
100%.
Finally, they needed like Chris Carson going down. Unfortunate for him, and then it seems like Penny's now healthy. Like his rookie year wasn't healthy. Second year was like all over the place. So yeah,
they got one though. He's been getting busy.
Yeah,
getting busy 6 weeks in a row. He is kind of dominated, and he's big. Oh, he's big. Minnesota at Green Bay. Who didn't see this coming? First of all, even if Kirk Cousins would have played, he was losing that game. Secondly, Sean Mannion, come on. What are we doing with ourselves here, NFL? What are we really doing? In a primetime game, you're allowing Sean Mannion to start and be showcased. What are we doing, NFL?
Where's Bubby Brister when you need him?
Oh, man. They couldn't have called Brett Favre. He played for Minnesota at one time. Like, anybody. Jesus Christ. We already talked about Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Whatever. All right, so this is where it gets interesting. Final week of the regular season. 2 Saturday games. Kansas City at Denver. This matters for both of them. Denver's still in the mix. Kansas City is trying to if they win and Tennessee loses, Kansas City can get the number 1 seed.
Big
deal. Kansas City probably going to win this game. Means more to them, and they're just better. Plus, I don't think Teddy Ballgame's coming. Dude, they took him off on a stretcher and had his face mask off. I don't think he's coming back this season.
No. He got like off the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, he was out, like knocked out. Like he's not coming back. There's no. I mean, he's a better option than Drew Lock, but it's for his own health.
He got DDT'd and the people's elbow.
Dallas at Philly. You gotta love that the NFL was made the last week of the season.
I love it.
Divisional games. It's fucking awesome.
I love it.
Dallas at Philly matters for both of them. Philly could still get in. Dallas is already in. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Philly might win this game, dude.
Dallas already locked up the division, so
Can they still get the number 1 seed?
No.
Nah, then whatever.
Yeah. I think the only reason why they play players is for continuity, but Dallas is also one of those teams, though, that they believe in resting people.
So this is the type of game they lose, too, and Philly is running the ball so well.
Mike McCarthy's the type to rest. Like, he be saying that he don't rest. He rests players.
He does. Cincinnati at Cleveland. Yeah, Cincinnati. Baker's dud. Whatever. Cincinnati is absolutely on a tear right now. That one's tickets are $16. Hilarious.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. That's hysterical. Cincinnati, they're catching a hot streak at the exact time that you need to. So they are extremely dangerous.
We may just see Dearness Johnson and like Donovan Peoples-Jones and like, you know what I'm saying? If they did what they did with Nick Chubb and all them this past game,
Landry might as well play quarterback this week.
Yeah, I don't. Why would you play your top players in this game and you didn't do it last game?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
well, Cleveland's definitely the winner for the most disappointing team of the year. That's for sure. Green Bay at Detroit. Green Bay's already locked up the number 1 seed. Aaron Rodgers' toe is an issue. He'll probably play a little bit. They're not going to sit him out. He already talked today about like playing and being in the rhythm, and every time you go onto a field you risk injury, so it's just like whatever. That whole like, oh, what if you get hurt? Whatever. First play of the playoffs you could get hurt. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, ask Carson Palmer.
Exactly. Yeah, Green Bay's on a roll. Absolutely. They look like a Super Bowl team right now. They're also catching a hot streak at the right time.
Yep. And that kid who they picked up, Rasul Butler, the corner, wow, what a huge pick for them.
WVU.
What a huge pickup.
Oh, yeah, he was thrown in the trash heap from Philly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
He got that bank off him. Good for him.
Well, also, that goes to show you that
more cheesesteaks, bratwursts, homie.
Oh, shit, we got less than a minute. God damn it. I just now noticed that. Motherfucker. All right, and I'm back in there. Didn't see the clock runs out. Not beef. What up, beef? Yeah, this Tuesdays is where we talk about football. Yeah, it's so crazy the Zoom app, how different the camera processes and transmits data. It's completely different. Yeah, the homie Omi. Everybody gonna get the homie Omi. No, it's all good, homie. Well, you talk about dropping the ball on that one. I didn't even see. I didn't even see the clock counting down. I just looked up and was just like, "Oh shit!" Click.
I was like, "Oh, I guess we gonna take it to the last second this time."
Completely was on a tangent about something. Green Bay, yeah, whatever. Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
Well, they made the NFC Championship the last 2 years in a row, and this team's better than those two teams. So they have Dylan in the backfield to just run it.
It's going to use Dylan, which is huge.
And, you know, these Lazard and St. Brown are gaining. This is a couple seasons now with Aaron Rodgers. They have gained more experience with him and a little bit more trust.
Well, St. Brown especially. Lazard was trusted because he's a blocker. And Scantling was the one who needed more trust, and he got it. He's a speedster. A criminal, whatever his name is. He needed to find his place, whatever that is. And they still even haven't used the other Armani Rogers.
They haven't used him yet, and Tunyon's been hurt, so they've been with backup tight ends.
Right.
But they're playing so well. The additions, Rasul Douglas, they added a couple linebackers.
Yeah, that was huge. Rasul Douglas was huge.
Yeah, huge, super big. All right. Chicago at Minnesota. Minnesota is winning this game guaranteed because this will put them at one game under 500, and that's what Captain Kirk does for them.
What they do. And I think we said that at the beginning of the year.
We've said it for 2 years in a row. This is what Captain Kirk does. He gets you one game below 500. That's it. He's going to win you games that you didn't think they were going to win. They're going to lose games that they're not supposed to. He's going to be one game below 500 all season
They lost. Did they lose to the Jacksonville first?
No, Jacksonville beat.
Lions.
Yeah,
they lost
to
the Lions. They gave the Lions their dub.
Yeah, Jacksonville beat Indianapolis in London.
In London. Yeah.
Well, that's a home game for them. We should have known that was going to happen.
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Minnesota gave the Lions their dub.
Washington at New York. Nobody cares. Tickets are $14. It doesn't matter.
No, it does not.
Indianapolis at Jacksonville. The Colts need to win, but here's a funny thing. Jacksonville's beat them 6 straight games in a row.
Yeah, which is fucking odd. Some teams just have. I know. That's crazy how teams just have your fucking number like that.
It's in Jacksonville, so the weather could be if it's
their second home game.
Yeah, so if it's humid though, this would be a big issue.
I know. Yeah. Because I don't care what college you come from, if you start playing in a dome, it changes your whole physiology. Then you get into the outer elements again, and you forgot you was ever outside and played this game. So I'm definitely looking at Jonathan Taylor, played at Wisconsin, cold, and then went to a dome.
He might get gassed.
Might get crampy.
The blind might get tired.
Get a little crampy out there.
But Jacksonville's just terrible. They just suck.
They do, but also, can you say you trust Carson Wentz?
I was just about to ask you, what if Carson Wentz loses this game for them? A couple picks and a fumble or something like that.
I'm asking you, can you say you trust Carson Wentz?
No, I don't. I can see him losing this game, and then the questions running all off season about was this the right decision, blah, 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 blah. Even though he had, like, his touchdown to interception ratio is like 28-7 or so. It's good. But he misses wide open people when it counts, and when he does throw picks, they are devastatingly brutal. Like,
he throws Romo-esque picks.
Oh, just so bad in the worst moments.
And in times when he doesn't even, why'd you even throw it?
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude?
What are you doing? Why'd you do that?
I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville pulls this one off. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Baltimore is out of it, but Pittsburgh, if they win and dominoes fall, could win, which if you watch...
Pittsburgh wins those type games.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. They're going to beat Baltimore. They're going to beat them. Did you watch that game? Big Ben threw 40 some attempts for 146 yards. I don't think he threw it farther than 5 yards down the field. I think he was 26.
No wonder Najee Harris had almost 200 yards rushing.
Yeah. Dude, he just can't anymore. He can't. Even in a game when you think they would just let it fly, man. It's your last one in high. He couldn't. He just can't. 40.
And he came in the best shape of his life.
Yeah. Well, we knew it, though. We saw it over the last couple seasons. The same thing happened to Drew Brees. Game 10, 11, and 12, you start to see it. And then from 12 on, it just no arm strength left.
Philly Rivers, we know that. That's why TB12 is such an anomaly.
Yeah, it's and
strength.
It just keeps getting better.
Good. His arm strength is fucking good.
All right, so I texted you when he did it. Tom's throw to Gronk with eye emojis. In between 3 people who are all reaching, he did something that only Aaron Rodgers does. He made it go.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's like he got his Jedi powers now. Can he get any better? This is retarded. But, dude, that throw was an Aaron Rodgers throw. I was like, I couldn't believe that he even attempted it, but he only has Gronk right now. Mike Evans is hobbled out there, so he had to, dude, that was one of the best throws I've seen all season, because I was just like, how did you fit it in that window? And he got it to go crazy. And Gronk is playing incredible this season.
Yes, he is.
So well. Balling and healthy.
Yeah.
So you can see him playing until Tom's done. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's see. They play Carolina this week. Blowout city. So, practice game for them. Anyway,
Abbott's going to get plenty of snaps.
Tennessee at Houston. Tennessee needs this. They're not going to blow a game. They're too well coached. That won't happen. As spirited as Houston has played, and old Davis Bills has proven himself to be a pretty solid NFL quarterback.
Yes, he's getting a shot.
Yeah, he is.
And thank you, Tyrod.
What did we say? What did we fucking say? Whoever is behind Tyrod Taylor is going to come in and get busy.
Here it is.
That's the four horsemen of the NFL. We just went through all four of them. Kirk Cousins is going one game below 500. Whoever starts behind Tyrod Taylor, you are going to have a lucrative and polished NFL career. I don't care who you are.
The devil contract has been signed. The ink is dried.
These things are guarantees, people. There are things that are just Matt Ryan only beats quarterbacks that he's better than.
Gonna beat the mediocre ones.
That's
he's
it.
Not gonna be better than him.
That's 3 of the 4 horsemen of the NFL. This is how it happens. We'll figure out. There's the 4th one out there. We'll run into it. Probably has something to do with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, because they both sold their souls a long time ago. Tom Brady doesn't make sense, dude. This doesn't make any sense.
No.
He's running more than ever this season. It's hilarious. He's constantly leaving the pocket and taking off.
The most rushing yards he's had, I would say, in the season ever.
Ever. By far. By far. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely hilarious. He's got the Benjamin Buttons disease.
And he's diving head first and talking shit. Like, this is what I do. Like he's talking shit like this. This is what I do out here on this field. I was like, whoa, son. He's
Tom, really, man.
The boy's got him juiced.
Yeah, he is the anomaly. He's Neo in the Matrix. It's just none of it makes sense at all. It's been fun to watch, though, and he's still got a couple years left in him. Absolutely retarded. It's hilarious that he's matched up with Arians now, because Arians is whatever, I don't give a fuck, more than anybody else in the league. Bruce Arians, what do you think about Antonio Brown? He's not on the team anymore. I don't care. We're not talking about him. Like, Bruce Arians don't give a fuck. I like it, too. He looks like he would be super fun to play for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so much fun. You're not going to have the Belichickian, every other year to the Super Bowl with Bruce Arians as your head coach, but you're going to get a shot at one of them. It would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, that's a blowout. Tennessee's going to win and by de facto end up with a number 1 seed. So Derrick Henry back for the playoffs is a real thing. That's going to be awesome to watch. New Orleans at Atlanta. Yeah, Matt Ryan's going to beat Taysom Hill. Yeah, whatever. We know this. The Jets at Buffalo. Buffalo already in the playoffs. But if they lose and New England wins, then New England will win the AFC East. So that's still up.
Mm-hmm.
So Buffalo needs it. I don't expect them to lose this game. But New York did just put, the defending champs up against the ropes. And you might have a little... And Zach Wilson did play pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And they got ran on.
Yeah. And nobody does that on them. And Buffalo, similar type of defense, strong up for... So you could see... Weather's also a factor. It snowed in Buffalo last week. They had to run the ball the entire game. It's a couple games this year where they just had to run the ball every single time.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Let's see. San Francisco at the Rams. The Rams are still trying to get a couple things could fall and they could end up with a number 1 spot. Trey Lance, though, this is the X factor. What if Trey Lance goes in there and has like a Colin Kaepernick against the Packers moment and just runs for like 200?
It would be so fucking funny to me because there's Packers fans who hate. Well, they may hate Kaepernick for multiple reasons, but they specifically hate him for that.
Yeah,
that shit. Even if they fuck with what he was trying to do, they still hate him for that.
Yeah, it was a playoff game, dude.
Oh yeah, and everybody saw. It was on national TV. Everybody saw him do it. Oh yeah, it was bad. Trey has the potential. He's not as fast as Colin.
No, but what if Matthew Stafford continues to have flashbacks in Detroit and has like 3 or 4 turnovers? They could lose this game.
No, and even just traditionally, the Rams-San Francisco game swings in either direction. Like, you think San Francisco's hard that year, the Rams not that great, Rams beat them. Like, it just, in that division, it's always like that. The Cardinals was always fucking shit up for somebody, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just do that in that division.
Yeah, that game's going to be interesting to watch. It's all hinges on how Matthew Stafford plays, because if he plays lights out, then forget about it. But he hasn't been lights out for weeks now. There's been weeks of this. So we shall see. New England at Miami. New England traditionally loses this football game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so this year, though. Tom's not there. They're not going out on South Beach. Gronk's not there. Julian's gone.
Yeah,
the frat boys are.
Mac Jones, he stays inside.
Yeah,
he's in the house.
Yeah, the frat boys are gone. So
yeah. Mac Jones stays in the house. His only concern ever is winning. That's it.
Yeah, I think this will be different. So, and New England still trying to get. They could win the AFC East. So it means a lot. And Miami. Last couple games, not so good. Not so good. Seattle at Arizona. This is interesting because Russ and Seattle have been on a 2-game tear. Out of nowhere, they just started balling.
Well, I mean, I also feel like Pete Carroll knows that his days are numbered. Like, it would be hard for me to see Pete Carroll even wanting to coach there with Russell not there. Remember, he's the one who put him into place.
Of course.
And was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about this Matt Flynn dude. I don't give a shit. But give me this guy. He cost them a Super Bowl because he didn't want to give it to Beast Mode because he wanted Russ to be the MVP. So he's so tied into Russ that if Russ is out, I think Carroll's out too. And
100%. 100%. So
Seattle will go to a full rebuild.
Here's the interesting thing, though. Arizona, best road team in football.
Yeah.
Stellar record, which means at home, not so good. This is in Arizona, which is a flip from last year. They were awesome at home and terrible on the road. They completely flipped it.
Yeah.
I don't think D-Hop is back yet.
Right.
Or if he is even come. I don't even know what his injury status is. Russ has decided to stop throwing it to Tyler Lockett every play and has been like, yeah, I got this guy. I forgot this guy.
Yeah.
I got Starscream over here. Like, you know, it's not Megatron. It's his. So
yeah, and also traditionally, Russ does great against that defense.
Yeah, and but I don't know if Bobby Wagner's playing though. He did get hurt last week, so that could be huge. We shall see. I actually think Seattle's going to beat Arizona because that's just the way things are trending right now. This is a gut check for Kingsbury and Kyler Murray though, because they need to win this game heading into the playoffs. So we shall see.
Yeah.
Carolina at Tampa, who cares? And then they have flexed the Chargers and Raiders to the night game because winner's in. It's the first playoff game of the season.
Makes sense. Yeah.
These are the types of games the Chargers lose, and these are the types of games that Derek Carr wins.
Absolutely.
Funny, tickets for this game are $300. Tickets for the Jets at Buffalo, $6. $6 for an NFL ticket, people.
Oh, man. For sure. Man. And you know what? That $6 game is going to be
Yeah, it always is. It always is.
It's going to be off the chain.
$6. And this is in Buffalo, or is Bills Mafia not showing out for this game? Like, what is going on here?
It's going to be crazy. I mean, the parking lot is going to be, the game is going to happen in the parking lot. The tailgating out there is going to be phenomenal.
There will be dildos involved. I didn't know this was a thing. They throw dildos on the field in Buffalo. They call them dildos.
Yeah, it's all upstate for you.
Yeah, so Beefy, that's hilarious because $6 tickets for an NFL game is retarded cheap because a beer at the game is going to cost you $16.
Exactly. That's why I said it's going down in the tailgate. But by the time they get in there, ain't nobody gonna be worried about drinking. They're gonna be roasted.
There are going to be a ton of shirtless Bills
yeah.
Mafia guys there.
Oh my, you're gonna be roasted.
Absolutely fucking hysterical. All right, I want to see. Does ESPN not have a playoff? There's too many teams in the thing. There's too many teams in the running for
like
it.
too many scenarios and all that.
Yeah, they don't even have. They have an eliminator thing where you can pick what you think will happen and shit will whatever. I'm not doing that right now.
I feel like the AFC is a little bit more set, no? And the NFC is still up for grabs.
Well, I can go to the standings. This will tell us. So, divisional. There we go. Playoff. So Tennessee, Kansas City, vying for number 1 seed still. Tennessee wins, they get the number 1 seed. Flat out. Cincinnati's won their division. They're currently the 3 seed. They win, they stay the 3 seed. Buffalo and New England are 4 and 5, and they're both 10 and 6. It sucks that they don't play each other this week. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, Buffalo wins, they stay the 4 seed. They get let's see. Somebody has to travel to Buffalo. New England's in. They already got
Ooh.
New England's already in. The Colts right now hold a wild card spot. The Chargers and Raiders, winner is in de facto, and then if Pittsburgh wins, and the Colts lose, and a couple other things happen, Pittsburgh could actually slide in there because they have that one tie, and that's what will get them above all those other teams.
That's crazy.
Backlogged, hilarious.
But also, they shouldn't have tied against Detroit because if they didn't, we wouldn't be having this discussion. They'd be in.
Yeah, 100%. But Detroit played hard all year. Even they got waxed a couple times, but generally they showed up.
They did.
So shout out to Motor City Dan for having.
And he did. And I wish the G's had that mentality.
That's what I'm saying. They have a terrible roster, and they showed up.
They lost by 20 points 4 times this season. The most amount of times since when they really sucked in the 70s, early 80s. Early, like late 70s, early 80s. So historically bad.
So yeah, it's the NFC that is pretty much set. Green Bay's the number 1 seed, already set.
Got it.
The Rams and Tampa Bay could get the number 2 or 3. So Tampa playing one of the worst teams in football, and the Rams could lose that game. So Tampa could move up to the number 2. It doesn't really matter. You're going to have to go through Green Bay regardless. Dallas is in there at 11-5, and so is Arizona. That's why I said they're 4 and 5. They're kind of looking like they might run into each other again. San Francisco is slotted at number 6. They still, if they lose, they're out.
Yeah.
Philadelphia,
Who would slide in? The Eagles?
The Saints. If they win. And that's the only scenario. Philly's in, and then everyone else is out. So San Francisco wins, and the Saints win. San Francisco gets in because of win percentage, whatever. San Francisco loses, the Saints get in. The Saints win, the Saints are in the fucking playoffs. Shout out to Sean Payton getting that team into the goddamn playoffs if it happens. Jesus.
Especially after Jameis going down, for sure. With Jameis, I think they're a playoff team, no question.
100. That defense is really, really, really good.
Hell yeah.
So it's basically down to San Francisco and New Orleans to get the 6th spot. Philly, it looks like they, no matter what, whoever
They're
wins. In? Yeah, Philly's already in. They got a wild card because Dallas lost. That moved them up. And then the Vikings lost too, which we expected. So, yeah, playoffs are almost set. The AFC, lots of shit could happen. And the funny thing about NFL playoffs is usually one of those teams that needs like 7 things to happen, it happens. And they somehow sneak into the fucking playoffs.
And I actually did say that I expected the Eagles to make the fucking playoffs, and for Washington not to. Yeah, I knew it. This is how the shit plays out. So I'm not surprised. I just hate it.
Well, Washington, we assumed that Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to be the quarterback, and then like Chase Young's going to play a full season, things like that. But it didn't happen, and they suck.
Yeah.
Will be interesting though. By February 2nd, we will not be calling them the Washington Football Team anymore, or unless they pick Washington Football Team, which they might.
Mm-hmm.
They probably will. Oh, if they don't pick the Red Wolves, they're retarded. They're so stupid. So stupid. Anything else going on in football?
Daniel Snyder, What fucking titties, Daniel Snyder?
So college football playoffs. That went exactly.
Oh, shit. There was the Tax Act Bowl tonight. LSU, K-State.
Well, the only games that mattered, they went exactly how we thought they would.
Well, yeah.
To be expected.
Well, I'm just saying. LSU though. Oh, it's just halftime. All right. K-State is.
No, but they went to as to be expected. So once again, it's SEC athletes up against SEC athletes.
Shout out to U of H Cougs. Let's go Cougs. Getting that dub against Auburn in the Birmingham Bowl. We had to go to Alabama and get that.
There's so many bowl games got canceled because of the homie.
Yeah, Omarion was really serving motherfuckers out here. UCLA, they had the Holiday Bowl. They got it there.
The Hawaii Bowl got canceled.
Yeah, but every team that did get to play in a bowl game, they, for the most part, I didn't really see like blowouts. They were good games. It was a really good game.
Until you get to the playoff games, those were fucking blowouts.
Right, those are the blowout ones. But the other games, like matchups, like in any sport, it's all about matchups. And we saw some real interesting matchups. And
that Ohio State game.
Also, there were players who were opting out, like some high-profile players opting out. And then we got to see some young talent that, like, okay, this program's going to be all right. Or and then also, like, some of the players who opted out, like, dog, you really think you're about to go this high? Really? Maybe you should have played. Maybe you should have played. But, yeah, it was interesting to see. I mean, Alabama, we had to – Cincinnati, that's the problem, right? Like, that's the first time we see a non-Power 5 get in. University of Houston could have did it some years ago, but then they ended up losing in their championship game. But that was the setup. Of course, they had to go against Alabama. Now, if you give me Cincinnati, Michigan,
they didn't want to have Alabama and Georgia back to back.
I know, but I'm just even if you give me, I mean, Cincinnati, Georgia would have been tough too. But I mean, at the same time, fuck it. if you get Alabama, Georgia again, if that's how it plays out, that's how it plays out. Whatever.
This is why they got to go to 8 teams.
They got to. It's like it's too. Like you fed Cincinnati to to piranhas. They
did, because look what Utah did at the end of the season, and then how they played.
Yeah.
So Ohio State, look what they did. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you need it to be more, because Cincinnati
and C.J. Stroud got absolutely busy.
Cincinnati absolutely deserved to be there, but they did not deserve that. They didn't deserve to go up against that.
Exactly.
That wasn't fair. I know why they did it. They didn't want, because they also didn't want a blowout to happen in the national title game. So
I know, but then also consider this: the majority of the defensive players on Cincinnati were seniors, grown ass senior dude, man, going to Bryce Young, a true freshman. That just shows you how different he is. He different.
That's just all. The SEC is just different, dude.
I mean, it's SEC for sure. But I mean, look at what he's done in the long history of Alabama, and all the quarterbacks who have gone through there, right? And look at what he's done. I mean, this kid has had a special season. You know what I mean? He's not one just benefiting from the talent. He's making the talent better.
Yeah, he's and plus, come on, dude. You just saw it on the field. I watched some of the Michigan game because I was just like, I kind of wanted to see Michigan and Alabama, because I was like, oh, Michigan might be able to run the ball and keep the ball away from Alabama. And then I saw those athletes against those athletes, and I was just like, oh my God, this isn't even close.
It wasn't even that Michigan dude, Hutchinson, who was up for the Heisman. You see a game like that and you say, how? That doesn't make sense. You see Bryce Young play and you're like, oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Heisman. Yeah, I get it.
It's crazy how much that Alabama, Georgia, LSU, like the dominance of the dominant teams of the SEC, how much they have altered the landscape, because it used to be Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan could compete with these teams.
Absolutely. Michigan State was in the mix. Yeah.
Nebraska used to dominate.
Nebraska used to smack people in the mouth. Yeah. I mean, Florida State was always there. Miami was always there. Even Florida in the mix. We're not talking about Florida schools anymore like that.
Nope.
None of them. None of them.
Talk about that Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama. And now you got you got
Texas. You got Texas, but not UT, A&M.
Well, now Texas and Oklahoma have joined the SEC.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, and A&M's already in the SEC.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying.
Now you add Texas.
But then Baylor, and then also U of H. We've been getting busy. Whatever. We play who's in front of us. And we've also beaten teams that no one expected us to. But it's all about keeping those athletes, right? And like you funneling in, and then you got the Cali teams. The Pac-12, you could argue, has an amazing talent up and down its whole conference. It's just that their brand of football is just so different. They don't thump out there. It looks good. I mean, you got some thumpers out there. Let's not be silly, but it just looks way different. It's West. It's like that Bill Walsh West Coast offense. We don't need to do like this, where you have straight up 80s football being played in the SEC. So when you get some guys, quarterbacks who can actually pass, you're like, oh shit, this guy can really throw the ball, because they running and they thumping. That's what they doing.
They are preparing themselves for NFL careers down
for the league. It is a minor league.
That's
right.
Exactly what it is.
Like everything else is college football. What they're doing is minor league football.
And you see it. It doesn't happen all the time, because you do have some kids that will stay home or go to a program that does have some history, like Oregon or something like that. But if you are a blue chip recruit and you are like, I want to go to the NFL, you're going to one of those schools down there. I talk about it all the time. If you are on Alabama's roster, you will get a shot in the NFL.
That's how USC used to be.
Yeah. It was for a while. See, that's what I'm saying. The landscape used to be so different. You know, the Big Ten ran
like,
shit.
UCLA, problematic. USC, problematic. Cal, problems. Like you had teams out there like Washington. You didn't want to see them for a certain amount of time. Even Washington State was getting busy for a moment. And Oregon, obviously. So, yeah, I don't know. Like they had the right idea when they were the first ones with the NIL. They were like, oh, we got them. And then SEC was like, oh, hell no. We cannot let this. That's what you just needed, one conference to do it, and then the SEC do it, and then it's happening everywhere.
Shout out to Washington State being the first college team that will have 2 different helmets.
Let's go.
Everyone will say Oregon, but Washington State had the red ones with the white WS that looked like a cougar or whatever their thing is. And then they had the silver one with the red stripe with a point on the middle. I love that shit. I was just like, wow, they get 2 different helmets and 2 different uniforms. That's so cool. And then Oregon has literally had 1,000 different combinations.
Well, Phil Knight.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Your own Nike. Yeah.
It can happen. All right, so yeah,
your alma mater. Yeah.
We shall see. We have 1 week of regular season football. I have 1 more week of getting raked in daily fantasy. It's been a terrible season. The Roni has destroyed things. People that you have never heard of are getting 2 and 3 touchdowns in a game, and it's just like, wait a minute.
That I couldn't get in there. Yeah, because that was it. I mean, I have to say this. Shout out to you. Shout out to me. Shout out to every cat who played fantasy this year and somehow, some way just made the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you made it to your championship game, more kudos. If you won, amazing. Because guess what? It was all guesswork. And you guessed right. Good on you. Because this was a season obviously unlike any other. Even last year, you could figure things out.
Not this year.
Easier. This year, it was, I don't know. Guys off the streets. AP got back in the league. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, look at basketball. ISO Joe at 40 years old, scoring buckets. Scored a bucket for Boston. You had Lance Stevenson getting mins. You know what I'm saying? You get guys coming out of the woodwork right now. I wouldn't be surprised if a baseball team called up Darryl Strawberry to see if he still got any pop left.
Dude, it's been a frustrating one. Because it's just like every single week.
Made the playoffs, and if you won,
well, that's why I look at it as a moral victory in losing Derrick Henry and the #1 fantasy scoring player in football, losing 4 straight games because I had to piece together a new roster after that happened, and then going on a 5-game run to even get into the playoffs. And then, hey, 3rd place game, blew them out. Absolutely blew them out by like 40-something.
And that's what I'm saying. You could have had a roster full of studs and it made no sense. It made no difference. Like they could have just collectively all had terrible weeks or just coming off Rona, like whatever, like so they're not all the way yet. So it was those guys, like the unknowns who helped you win.
Yo, so
like, what's his name? Kenneth Herbert,
Khalil.
Chicago backup. He won me 2 games this season. You know what I mean? Like, Chuba Hubbard won me a couple of games. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that happens. But so in my league, in the first round playoffs, every single matchup was at least 40 points, except mine because I lost by 38. Every other one lost by at least. That's how the whole week went for everyone.
It's crazy.
Everyone got blown out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, well, damn, it was just whoever didn't get hit with the homie and whoever was able to, it was crazy.
And if you manage to get Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp,
Devontae, and Aaron.
Jonathan Taylor, I had Aaron. Took me to the gym. Yeah, you probably went very, very, very far.
Well, I will tell you, I had Herbert, who put up huge numbers, but kind of fell off at the end when it counts the most. That hurt. Colts defense, #1 scoring defense in fantasy. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of turnovers with that roster. A lot of turnovers. And then I did have Najee, and he's the only player that, besides Herbert, that I had for the entire season on my roster. Everyone else I had to change multiple times after Henry got hurt. I did have DK to start the season, and then Russ just didn't want to use him, and I dropped him and then picked him up for the last week of the season, and he got 3 touchdowns. That's how you get a playoff victory and end up with 3rd place. I'll take it. It's my first time ever doing fantasy. Now I actually know how it works.
Yeah.
Dude, the first 4 weeks I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, all right, how do I add people? How many?
That's why, if you noticed, early in the season, I was like, yeah, for you fantasy players, you might want to look at this player. I was giving you tips the entire time.
No, I got it. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know how many players you can add. I didn't know this league was unlimited. I was like, wait a minute, it's unlimited? I thought I only had 10.
Yeah.
Because it had 10, but that was the ranking in priority for free agency, and I was just like, I didn't know that shit.
Waiver wire.
I didn't know that. I was like, I only get 10. I better save these. It's a long season.
Some do, like, that's even more like basketball and baseball, where you can only make but so many moves per week. Football, I really hadn't seen that on any football league I've been in.
No, so now I know. I'm going for the chip next year. Roger, I'll have to make sure he reminds to put you into the retired player league, because, dude, that shit was fun, because I know that the people I'm playing against, I don't know who they are, but I like, these guys played in the NFL. These aren't just fantasy guys that just do that shit. These are like football guys.
Yeah.
It was like almost every game, dude, was like shootouts with everyone. There was very few blowouts. It's just week 1 of the playoffs, literally every game was a blowout. It was so disappointing.
Well, because everyone's looking at matchups, and they know how to read matchups.
That's why I said it was fun. It was fun. It wasn't just like lottery tickets, and you're just like people. I guess it was so much fun.
And when people know what they're doing, that's what makes it fun.
Also, I'm going to set up, a gray matter fantasy league.
Yeah.
So all of us will get in it, and I'm sure that Colton will want to jump in. Speaking of Colton and Danibus, especially Danibus, Danibus, you have had a rough last couple weeks of the season, homie.
Yeah, yo, watch out, because I might come snap third out your pockets.
You're only 2 back on them.
I'm saying, I might come snatch third out your pockets.
It could happen.
Now I'm back in the fold again. Now I can focus.
Well, also you see towards the end of the season, the last 4 to 5 weeks, when teams are really who they are, and things that matter like the playoffs, and then injuries like Baker getting hurt and things like that to alter the landscape. The football minds were on top of that. I knew like that's why you see you and me just started the last couple weeks have just started to run away. If you look at especially you've won 2 in a row. I was only 1 behind you. I only missed 2 this week.
I should have not missed any. Pissed me off, man. I wanted that perfect run.
I only missed 2, and they were both, Dallas and Arizona could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I forget what the other one that I missed was, but it was another one that was just like...
It was the Vegas one.
Yeah, the Vegas one. That literally could have gone either way. It was funny when I saw that you picked Vegas. I was just like, either he's trying to make moves or he knows something. He knows something that I don't know.
John Madden, baby. Boom!
As we close this one out, R.I.P. to John Madden. That dude played an integral part in all of our childhoods.
Man, him and Pat Summerall, that was my favorite team. I'd let me hear them all the time, every game.
Just silky smooth voice of Pat Summerall.
I know. And like he was like the Eli Manning of commentators. Like, kicked it, good. That was it. I loved it. I loved it. And then, well, because John Madden was like, and you do this, and then boom. And it's all over the place.
Loved it, though. Loved it.
That's all was the perfect, just straight man for John. It was beautiful.
Yeah, there'll never be another duo like that. And I mean, like, come on, man. Madden football. Like, the video game has made $7 billion.
Mm-hmm.
$7 billion.
That's, I mean, yo, that's insane. And your name is on it. Like, forever. That's forever.
Not only that, they licensed your name. $7 billion. What percentage of that did he get?
Exactly. You know, he didn't do airplanes, right? Like, he just did his bus.
Claustrophobic.
He went to every nook and cranny in this fucking country on that bus. He just bus. He didn't want to be in the air. He was like, nah, I want to be on the ground. Like, I'm good.
So this is what I said on Mobb Deep Monday about Betty White and John Madden. Those are two human beings that literally could have gone anywhere in this country. Any single place, and whoever was there would have been like, oh shit, it's John Madden, or holy shit, it's Betty White. I don't get Brownsville. The worst parts of Chicago.
For sure. We would know it. We would know them more than probably other people do.
That's what I'm saying. Oh shit, it's Betty White.
And you can't go to the hood and not have one person who has not seen Golden Girls. Stop playing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, anywhere, everyone's seen Golden Girls.
John Madden. Stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the universal appeal of those two humans. Definitely change it to the all Madden team and stop playing and just make him the logo. Look at that stupid shield with a go on.
Yeah, I know the shield. I know. Whatever. John. Yeah.
Make him the logo. It's John Madden. It's just like they should update. Jerry West should tell the NBA, listen, make Kobe the logo. It shouldn't be me anymore. These kids don't even know who I was.
You know what? I was going to say, I don't know if Jerry West didn't say something like that.
I guaranteed he probably did.
Yeah, I could see him saying, hey, who cares? Right. He would definitely endorse Kobe. No question about it. Yeah, I mean, for real. Honestly,
like these kids that watch basketball, they don't even know Jerry West is the GM, let alone the player. Like, he's so far removed.
But honestly, these kids would want the logo to be LeBron.
Yeah, but it should be Kobe, and even LeBron would be like, it should be Kobe.
It should be Kobe. No, what? Right. But then now you have another sect that'd be like, well, how come it wasn't Jordan? You already know.
Because Mike makes $7 billion a year off his logo already.
True. Over Jumpman, no doubt. But they're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna jump from Jerry West over Jordan to Kobe?
Well, I mean, given the fact that there was a tragic ending, that's the trump card for everybody. He's not here anymore. It's got to be him.
Right. That's all you got to bring up.
That's it.
Girl dad.
That's the only reason I would even say it, because I wouldn't say, put Kobe as you're not going to change it. But since Kobe's not here, it's Jerry West is 80-some years old.
Yeah.
Even the logo looks old. He got short shorts on. He's doing a weak-ass crossover.
Yeah, and the haircut. Just look at the haircut. It looks like a milkman haircut.
Yeah, you can see it in the logo. It's terrible. Short shorts. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, homie. I'm going to go eat some food, and then I got things to do because, as always, I'm up to something. So, good to have you back. We're back in the fold, ready for almost for the playoff run. So,
right.
This week shall be interesting because, as you know, there's going to be terrible games that are going to be awesome and games that are supposed to be good that mean something, and some team's going to get blown out.
Always.
I could see Pittsburgh shit in the bed. I think they kind of just won an emotional Super Bowl.
Yeah, at home, right. Where they got to go?
Baltimore.
Oof.
And Huntley can play.
I was just about to say, Huntley is tough, yo. Huntley is not PJ Walker. Huntley is tough out there.
He belongs. He belongs. He belongs.
I'm about to say, like, Baltimore may not have Huntley for too much longer because, some team is going to snap him up. Lamar being out has shown them too much.
It just hit me because I instantly was just like, who? Seattle.
Yeah.
Replace Russ. Go to Seattle.
He's shown too much. That dude got scoots. He has a good arm. He clearly knows how to run an offense because Baltimore has been in these games.
Yeah.
And so, and he's young.
He puts up more passing numbers than Lamar does.
Yes, he does. He's a better passer than Lamar, and you get him now for the cheap.
Yeah, I can see Seattle should jump all over that. Seattle should do whatever it takes because Russ is going to leave, and that kid can really play.
Yes, he can.
And you've already got DK and Tyler still up there, and you got Penny now, so you have core athletes to pair with him. Swain, Fred Swain, pretty good.
Yeah,
solid NFL player. He reminds me like Jamison Crowder. Like this guy, he can play. You know,
yeah.
Nothing like oh my god, but he can play. And then Disley, they got a couple tight ends.
Disley, I was about to say Will Disley. Yeah,
and Everett. Everett is the dude that's been
Gerald Everett. Yeah, Gerald Everett was their free agent pickup. Like, who's still young. So.
Well, I mean, every time he's on the field, he looks like DK because they both wear the shield and they're both gigantic. Yeah. I'm just like, oh no, that's not DK, that's Gerald. Shit.
Yeah, he can move.
Yeah. So I can see Huntley going to Seattle. Seattle should do it if Pete stays, especially because then you don't have to change a whole lot because he's like, I don't want to rebuild. We got the core philosophy, all that shit.
Well, I mean, I would see that. I'd see that as a way for Pete to stay. Him being excited about a new quarterback coming in. It can't because Geno's not it. But shout out to Geno for remaining in the league this long.
Yeah, good for him.
Shout out to you, buddy.
And he'll get a couple more years in the league because until it counts, Geno can play. But once the drive counts, he's turning it over. I don't care.
Right. Even if it's not his fault. 'Cause that last time it wasn't his fault.
It's still happening.
It still happened. I know Lockett slipped, and that wasn't his fault. But it's with Geno. It's the Geno effect.
See, that's another thing. There's like that would be not the Geno effect, but the voodoo effect that happens in the NFL on certain players would be the fourth horseman in the NFL because there is the Geno effect. Even if it's not his fault, he's turning the ball over. This is going to happen.
Danny Dum-Dum is turning the ball over.
Danny Dum-Dum is turning it over.
Like it's his job.
Tyrann Mathieu is getting turnovers. The ball literally just pops into the air to him at all times.
Darius Leonard, another one. Fred Warner, another one. The ball just finds their hands.
Always does, always will. There are certain players that it's just like they're not even. It's just like it just happens. Oh shit, Tyrann Mathieu.
Very, very soon we're going to be saying the same about Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is going to just do a thing that's just way better than everybody else.
He already is better than everybody else.
I mean, he is, but I'm just saying, like I don't know, like he's the Swiss Army. Sacks, fumble recoveries, interceptions. Like we haven't even started to scratch the surface.
Well, that's the thing with the NFL that is taking a page out of the NBA. There's positionless NBA now. You just kind of play basketball. You know, LeBron might start at center one game and then start at the one the next game. It doesn't really matter. That's happening in the NFL. There's positionless players now. You know, Justin Simmons, you just let him play football.
Yep.
Darius Leonard, though he is in the middle, this guy's like all over the place at different spots.
Roquan Smith was coming out of Georgia was undersized. He's killing it in Chicago right now.
Micah Parsons can literally play like 5 different positions on defense. It's retarded.
Look at Leonard Floyd, who finally found his footing out at the Rams. Big, tall, like just could do a lot of things. Montez Sweat.
Well, then you look at the other side. Deebo Samuel, he doesn't have a position.
I know. He's just a monster. He has the perfect name for what he does.
DJ Moore in Carolina, this guy doesn't have a position. They'd use him for everything.
I know. Curtis Samuel, if he could stay healthy.
You know, this is the new thing where, like, you know, you have, it's on the draft list, it's athlete. They're just letting these guys be athletes now.
Yeah.
Imagine if they would have done the same thing with Devin Hester.
Or Rocket Ismail.
Look what happened. Look what's happening with Cordell or Patterson now that they're just being like,
picking it out. He's a weapon.
He had a career renaissance.
Yeah, yes, he did. I mean, there's a few guys, if they figured out how to do that with Tavon Austin, if they, you know what I'm saying?
And then you have the bigger versions of them. George Kittle, though he is listed as a tight end, is more tight end, receiver, slate guys all over the field. He lines up in the backfield.
Yeah, for sure.
This is like they're not pigeonholing players.
Well, that's a degree, Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it, though. I like it because it's just like, there are people who are just football players. Just put them out there.
Here's what will change the game, though. The defensive linemen are so athletic right now. And they're getting paid. And they know if they get these numbers, they're going to get paid no matter what. So you got guys who would be boxers or power forwards or centers in the NBA or whatever, playing football. Like, I'm about to get this DN money. On the offensive, the only way the offensive line is going to get better, obviously better coaching, but offensive linemen don't have a true stat to get paid. We have pancakes or whatever, but if you start making that a real stat, like pancakes, and we record that and we say this amount of like obviously 22 sacks is the benchmark, and we get a benchmark for offensive linemen, and we have pancakes, and I'm sure there's other things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, keeping your quarterback clean is huge. But if you make those real stats, recordable stats, and then based off of that, you see the salaries start to get higher, I guarantee you offensive line play in the league will change dramatically for the better.
It's going to, because the NFL is cyclical, and you're starting to see, yes, we're in these, the Chargers do it, let's spread everybody out. This is the new, we're throwing it a million times. But there are teams like New England, Tennessee, who have already gotten ahead of the next wave, where teams are, if I just make myself bigger and stronger than you, our whole roster, because you're all little and fast, we're just going to beat you up. And it's what's happening. You got guys lining up, like, look at A.J. Brown. When he comes down to block corners, especially nickel corners, these guys are tiny.
A child, I know.
Tiny. Yeah. So if you get these linemen out, and that's why you see them just physically dominating. It's a dime defense on the field at almost all times in the NFL.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have athletes like Myles Garrett deciding they want to play offensive line, a la Anthony Munoz, who they said Anthony Munoz was a phenomenal athlete. I mean, before his knees and all that and hip, but dunking on everybody and doing all, like, phenomenal. You had a few phenomenal athletes play offensive linemen, right? That we've known. And you get more of those guys playing offensive line, buddy boy. Change the game.
Well, I mean, it's already changing to, you have to be able to move on the offensive line. You got to.
Gotta move. Yeah, gotta move.
Gotta move. And
I just feel there's just so much mediocrity throughout the league. That's why there's just a few units that are standout. This is so much mediocrity, and it's just, it's just not.
There always will be, especially in Giants land, because y'all offensive line sucks.
Man, see, come on.
Yo, and Nate Solder. How is Nate Solder still in the league?
Cleveland's third tier offensive lineman better than our first tier. That's insane.
How is Nate Solder still in the league?
Because you have dumbass GMs who don't know how to cut. They see a legacy and they pay for the legacy. They don't pay for the now.
Yo, how long has he been on the Giants?
This is third year now.
It's only 3?
Yeah.
Wow, New England cut his. See, they're so smart. They got rid of him exactly at the right time. They got him right to his peak, and then that was it. He's just been. Somebody else can pay you for mediocrity. We don't care. Incredible. So we shall see, homies. Good to see you. Yeah, playoffs coming up soon. It's exciting. If you got like $2 in some change, you can go watch the Redskins and Giants play.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
I won't.
You'll never be able to get that time back.
Nope. Way more valuable. All right, everybody. I got things to do, and then I think you will be seeing me later because I got something I got to mix.